Welcome back to Fox 43 AM Live. Join us now as Zan Pop with the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here today.
Always a pleasure to have you on here. I love learning about the new exhibits that keep popping up at the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. They're always fantastic.
Thank you.
So what do we got going on coming up now? Shades of Greatness. Tell us about that.
So this is a wonderful traveling show that we are so fortunate to host. It actually comes to us from the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City, so just down there on 18th and Vine. It is a wonderful look at an artistic representation of baseball. So it's not photographs and objects and kind of the history side of things. It is about 28 artists who went to the museum, talked to Bob Kendrick, talked to players, looked at what the museum had, and created these wonderful works of art that are inspired by the history. So action shots of Satchel Paige pitching, some great photographs, Polaroid photographs of Buck O'Neill. There's a great portrait of Rube Foster, who is the founder of the Negro League. So just some really strong, beautiful, moving works of art. And then each artist then accompanied the pieces with wonderful stories about what they were inspired and what these pieces mean to them and to the history of baseball. So some really stunning pieces.
Sounds absolutely fabulous. And you know, to your credit, to what you're saying, where it's not photographs and history necessarily of baseball, but it's that magic that surrounds baseball.
Yes.
Baseball just has a little bit of that kind of mystic romance to it, if you will.
Actually, that is a great way of putting it, Dane. This is about the romance of the game. This idea that, so you got to think about this, the fact that 1890s, we had the separate but equal happens, and we get this whole segregation and white man's game, black man's game. And the Negro League is an amazing, rich history that if you don't know baseball, which I did not know, I'm learning so much about. It wasn't just the game like it is with the major leagues. It was about the ambiance, the businesses, this idea of watching a player and the stance that a player had within the community. And so these photographs, and sorry, these paintings just kind of embody this idea of a baseball player not just being a player, but being a person in the community and bringing the community up and what it meant to be a player and to go to a game during the 40s to the 20s to the 40s. Some really strong, wonderful pieces and a lot of history. Once again, not through the photographs and the news clippings, but through that ambiance and that aura that art creates.
Yeah, through the artist's eyes of what they see out of baseball, the love of the game. Absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
And yeah, I know I was reading some of the headliners. Kadir Nelson has headlined some of the roster of artists.
Oh, he's amazing.
Absolutely, yeah. Tell us about him.
So this is a new artist to me, and he has 3 pieces in the show. One is the first one you walk through the gallery. We've got it kind of right there at the entranceway. It's this kind of classical, kind of, you think of like a Rembrandt almost, in just this way that he has Satchel Paige in the middle of a pitch, his legs extended, the light just illuminates his body. And then the stand, you see figures, but you really don't see figures. You almost feel the roar of the crowd, the impact of this pitch, but you're not in the stands, you're watching from behind, so you're kind of almost like a shortstop or at second base watching this. It's an amazing piece, and it just kind of pulls you in. And then he's got another amazing piece. I'm using amazing too much this morning, I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
Of Willie Foster, who is Rube Foster's younger brother, who is well known for his pitching and his hitting abilities. And he is not on the field. He's in the city, and he's surrounded by these young fans who are carrying his shoes and his bat and his glove and his bag. And this man is statuesque. And he is in this amazing suit with this hat at just the right angle, looking. And what's interesting is the perspective Kadir has chosen to do is you are looking up at Willie. And so he has just, once again, this monumental impact. And so you start to see this idea of what these players meant to the community. And so it's just amazing.
Absolutely fantastic. Zan, you've done such a great job of describing these pictures. Almost don't need to go at this point.
No.
When does it open? When does it open?
So it opens officially for our opening reception will be this Friday at 5 o'clock. We have Bob Kendrick, who is the president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, will come and speak to us at noon on March 4th. And then we have Phil Dixon, who is once again an amazing historian on the Negro League and especially the Monarchs, will be our, I want to say he is in April 6th in the evening. And then we've got a couple other programs going on throughout the exhibit. So it's just, you've got to come see it. So it opens officially at 5 o'clock this coming Friday. It's up through May 7th. So you've got a long time to come see this. And we hope that it inspires people who maybe haven't come in before but really are intrigued by baseball or about the Monarchs. I mean, come on. Yeah, we can't even get into that today.
Yes.
We don't have time for that. But yes, you've got to come see it. It's in the library. It's open the same hours as the library, so Monday through Sunday. There's no excuse not to come in and see this really stunning artistic representation of the Negro League.
I can't wait. Zan, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
I can't wait to see the new exhibit and learn more. And of course, for everyone, if you want to learn more and see a full list of events, you can go to tscpl.org.